Ubisoft has just announced the Splinter Cell Remake. I'm Rooster, and welcome to the video. It's been a long time since we've had our hands on a Splinter Cell game. I mean, the last game, Splinter Cell Blacklist, released all the way back in 2013, and the original that this remake is based on was all the way back in 2002. So there's a lot of legacy in the Splinter Cell franchise that Ubisoft really has to get right with this remake. Well, the remake is being done by Ubisoft Toronto, the main development team behind Far Cry 6. It's also being developed on the Snowdrop engine, which is a proven AAA engine, famed for the Division games, and upcoming games like the Star Wars game and the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora are also being developed on this engine. So it's definitely an engine that Ubisoft is confident in. This is great news for the remake, as it gives the development team the potential to really bring the original Splinter Cell game into the modern era of gaming. Along with this announcement, we did also get a blog post with a couple of choice words from Matt West, which I'd like to highlight here. When asked how they are approaching this remake, Matt West had this to say: "A remake takes what you do in a remaster and goes a little bit further." This is an important detail because it does mean that we're not just getting enhanced graphics but the same game. Ubisoft are going to be making some design decision changes for this remake. Matt later goes on to say, so as we're building it from the ground up, we're going to update it visually as well as some of the design elements. But he does also say, we are going to keep it linear like the original games and not make it open world. This is great, because although I'm open to some design changes, I think making the game open world would be such a drastic change to the original that it wouldn't be considered the original anymore, not even a remake of it. It would be an entirely different game. With a remaster, you want the game to be as close to the original as possible, and you just update the graphics, you just make it look a little bit nicer, add some extra reflections and shadows. With a remake, you are trying to capture what the original did back then and present that to a new modern day audience. So in this case, I do think remake is the right decision. Although there is some bad news for us in this blog post. Matt does mention that the game is in the very earliest stages of development, so although this announcement has come out and it's whet our appetite, we shouldn't expect to see much of it anytime soon. It's probably going to be quite a while before we have this game in our hands. Finally, he does clarify though that they are trying to keep the spirit of the early games intact, and that I think is the most important thing about this remake here. So there we have it, we're actually getting a remake of the original Splinter Cell, and I'm sure we can expect to start getting more bits of information as time goes on, so let's keep looking out for that. Well, thanks for watching my video guys, like the video if you liked it, and don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know which your favourite Splinter Cell game was and how excited you are to be able to play a remake of the original. I'll see you in the next one.